everyone, and welcome to this Han Solo cosplay tutorial. Now, if you haven't seen part 1, 2, and 3 yet, I would recommend doing that. But in this video, I will show you how to make the belt and the components in it. Let's go! First up, for the belt itself, I needed to design and measure up the pieces for the belt. This is what I came up with. You can find the picture on my Facebook page if you need to take a closer look, so I will put a link to that in the description of this video. Next up is to find a suitable fabric, transfer the pattern, and cut out all the pieces. Combine all the pieces with your sewing machine or by hand and see it all come together. For details, attachments, and closure, I used silver rivets and snap buttons. So for the accessories and buckle of the belt, I printed pieces in 3D because I'm very lucky to have our 3D printer. But don't worry if you don't have access to one. It's not necessary to make these pieces. You can build it just as good from foam, Worbla, clay, cardboard, resin. Nothing can stop your creativity. However, I would recommend downloading the 3D file no matter what. That way you can see all the different pieces you need. You can rotate, zoom in and out, and it's just super handy. A link to the download is in the description below, so go check that out. Next step is to smooth out the lines and bumps on the plastic, or whichever material you use, with some good old-fashioned sanding. Not the most fun part, but definitely a part that makes a difference to the finished product. Fitting tests are necessary to see which pieces needs adjustments before gluing them together permanently. Next up, I went over the pieces with some gesso a couple of times. I switched between black and white gesso depending on the final color of the piece. It's not really necessary, but that's just how I like to do it. Then I let it dry in between before I sanded down the pieces one last time with a fine grit after their final layer. With everything attached in the right places, it was time to do the base coat. Except for the 2 white pieces, I used black, as the final color for the belt is mostly metal. Then I used a product called Rub and Buff for the metal looking pieces. This is a wax with metal pigments, so it gives a more realistic metal look than a regular silver paint. I dabbed a very small piece of it on an old cloth and simply rubbed it on. For the other pieces, I used green paint for the gas canister and white for the power packs. Time to combine the components and the belts. The Droid Collar piece is attached by more rivets, and this piece was glued right on the belt. To attach the buckle pieces, I used a simple metal wire. Here you see my belt for Han Solo together with the rest of the cosplay. Looks good! Oh, and here's Chewie too! I hope you liked this video. For more, don't forget to subscribe. You can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and if you want to support my work, you can always get me a cup of coffee. All links are in the description below. Bye bye!